Hi everybody, my name is Dart Pro, I'm a Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Speedrunner. Today we'll be having a look at Aquatic Mine. So here we are, I've already gone and hit switch 3, as you can see, and we're going to be talking about the sign clips today. These are pretty common clips that you'll see if you watch some of the higher runners in the game. It's a very useful clip, pretty easy to do, and it gets you a lot of things that you can do that would otherwise be a problem. So you'll notice that as we go around, you'll see these signs around the perimeter of the stage. Well, it turns out you can get out of bounds with these, and I'm just going to show where they sort of are around the perimeter. This is one that we're going to be looking at. This is another useful one here. This one here, you can do the trick with it as well, but it only leads into this hallway, so it's not very useful. The most useful ones are the one there in front, the one to the right, and this one here. Those are the most useful ones. This one over here is sometimes useful, although very, very rarely, and it's a little bit tougher to use that one. This one over here can sometimes very rarely be useful as well, but in general the trick works the same for all of them. Exactly the same way. So let's have a look at probably the easiest one to do this on. Right here. Let's have a look at what it takes to get the sign clip. So when you do this, you're basically using the side of this sign and the wall to clip through the wall and get out of bounds. Sounds pretty simple, and it really is. The trick is you have to be in the right position and have the right angle. The angle and stuff is actually pretty easy to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera and put it up against the wall like this. So I'm looking sort of at a 30-degree angle off the wall at the sign. This is about right. You can play around with the angle and find what works with you. But the key here is that what I want to do is jump with Knuckles, and I want to glide when he's right at the point where you see that corner on near the lower part of the sign where it gets slanty. That's pretty much where you want to glide. And there are two ways to do this. You can jump and do a drill dive, and then glide out of it, just like that. Or you can do a very short jump and then glide. Both of them work. People prefer different things. I prefer the jump and drill dive. Other people prefer the low jump. They're both good options. They both work just fine, so it depends what you feel like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in this corner, and I'm going to glide at that appropriate time. Now, like I said, I'm going to do the drill dive and glide, but I'm going to try the other one as well and try to show that off. But just basically here, all that's going to happen is if you are holding straight up and you glide into that sign with this angle, it should get you out of bounds as long as you glide at the right height. But that's the key, is the angle and the height. Angle is not too tough. Height is a little bit tougher. It's tricky, but it's not that tough. You get used to it. And we're out. So the trick here is that the camera doesn't like to clip through sometimes, so you just go far enough out of bounds and off you go. So here, you can get down to this room. And there's some pieces in there that are sometimes a pain to get, so you can get down there very quickly. Let's get back up here. It's fun to know that like almost all out-of-bounds tricks in this game, you can get back in bounds pretty much anywhere very easily. All the walls are solid from the inside, but not the outside. So this trick also works on both sides of the sign, so you can choose whichever one you like. I prefer left side for almost all the signs. Again, matter of personal preference. It's no big deal. Same thing works on this sign. The only difference with this sign is that you don't want to accidentally drill dive after getting out of bounds, because the ghost room is immediately through here. It's roughly the same height. If you go down, there's no death planes, so if you fall below the level entirely, you gotta restart. So if you got any free pieces or stuff like that, you're gonna lose them. It's just the way it is, so you gotta be prepared for that. If you do accidentally go down, and you turn back quickly, you can pop back in on this wall underneath Knuckles here, and you can get yourself back a little bit of time. Certainly losing less time than entirely missing and the level and falling out of bounds, because that's no fun at all. But the trick works the same way here. Let's see if I can do this short jumping glide. A little bit awkward for me. Not quite getting the right height. There we go. Took a couple tries. The camera played ball there. The camera doesn't usually play ball in this. You'll usually have to run blind all the way to this wall before the camera finally clips through. But this clip is really useful for if you get a piece of one of these two guys, because Knuckles homes in on these guys with punches. So you can just punch wildly and blindly until you get the hit. and you get the piece pretty quickly. Other pieces it's useful for as well. You can do the same clip on this sign, but you're up among the top of the room, and that's kind of a pain. Keep in mind the water level here is the same as what's here in the main room, so if you get in there and it's water level 1, you might be in trouble. Something to keep in mind. So this is one of the definitely more useful clips right here. It works exactly the same way as the others. The trick is that once we get out of bounds, we got to quickly do a short drill dive and then glide again, because we have to dodge this area. Otherwise you'll clip straight in bounds right here, and that's no bueno. That's not what you want. But we'll be aiming to a point that's sort of over there, and that'll get us to dented ceiling area that gets us to Path to the Abyss. And you can get those pieces with any water level. The dented ceilings, you should have enough height to grab them just outright as long as you hit your target. And Path to the Abyss you can get even with water level 3, because you can just go below the platform. You're out of bounds. You go where you want. And that's pretty good. Dented ceiling, I recommend hitting switch 2 first in case you miss. It does happen. There are some invisible walls out there that you have to be wary of surrounding some of the areas, but oftentimes you can get around them pretty easy. But this one works pretty much the same way as the others, so. Oops. And here we go. Hey, there's a piece there. That's how you do that. Trick is to be better than me at getting out of bounds. Camera's too good. There is another variant of this. This is one that I used to do. I don't really recommend it. This sign, you can do the exact same clip on this sign and then go to the left. It's sort of there, out of bounds, that direction. I find that in order to get this one to work nicely, you have to hold just the slightest bit of right as well as up. And that gets you the angle, because here, there's something funky about these 3 fans. It just prevents the camera from sticking as close to the wall as sometimes it likes. So you do have to be aware of that. But the clip otherwise works the same way. Nope, too much. But this clip is more or less obsolete, given the one that I just showed you from the right of the starting area. There we go. And then you get out of bounds. This one also has camera problems, but you can see where this takes you as well. And you can get to dented ceilings just like that. But those pieces are far better to get with this near clip right here. You also have better access to this from Ghost Room. This clip is just far superior. If you can get it. Try a little bit of this. There we go. Yeah, that's all about height. That's all it is. I personally like the drill dive, because when you get it right, it looks really clean and it happens really quick. But not everyone agrees. It's fine. It's personal preference. But that's the Aquatic Mine clip out. It's pretty simple. Not too tough. I guess I might as well just show this fun part. It's poignant. That's what I get for trying to show a trick without having my hands warmed up. Get up fully out of bounds. And if you drill dive down, there's really nothing to kill you. So you just sit there dying forever. The only way to get out of this is to basically restart the stage. Technically, I guess you would eventually encounter floating point errors, but that would not be for a very long time. Anyway, that's the Knuckles clip out in Aquatic Mine. Pretty easy trick, well worth learning if you're interested in learning Knuckles stuff, because the trick can really save you and turn some really horrible pieces into really fast pieces to get. Stuff like minecart dumping area and Path to the Abyss that would otherwise just be horrible, horrible pieces suddenly become, you know, really good if you can get out quickly. And it's really not too tough. Highly recommend it for anyone even learning Knuckles to at least take a poke at and see how it works. But yeah, play around with it, have some fun, and good luck. My name is Darkpro. Have fun.